times when one of those children look in your eyes, what has someone ever said to you, Roz, that just so deeply hits your heart? What has one of the children ever said to you that you're cheering?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. They sing, they dance and sing. And one evening, some children who had been with us and who had found families with the Red Cross or Save the Children, had found families for them, they left. They came back for a visit. And my children were celebrating the return of these other children because it's like a big family. So they were singing and dancing. And the song they were singing in Kinyarwanda I'd never heard before, and I had to have it translated for me. And the words were, "We're the children of Rosa, and nothing bad will ever happen to us." We started with 4, 2 days later we got 10 more, and very soon we had 40. And for a long time we were just under 50. But in 97, at the end of 97 when I was leaving, we had 74. In 98, we had moved to Kisene because my farm was the center of combat. And it wasn't safe for the children. In fact, the American embassy was absolutely frantic that I was risking the lives of the children by staying on my property. We received 23 orphans in 98, little children who had seen their parents killed for the most part, and were very, very traumatized. Really as traumatized, and sometimes more so, than the ones we had to start with.
What obstacles, and I'm sure there were many in the beginning, did you have in order to establish the orphanage?
Well, we had to repair the building and make it livable. And that was rather expensive and hard. But with the help of a man named Sembagare, who has worked with me, I should say, for 42 years, a Rwandan. He found carpenters, he found planks, he found masons. My gardeners who had fled heard I was back. They came immediately out of the Congo to help. They were painting walls. In October, my niece Anne came to help me. I waited till I was 80, and then suddenly I had a child for every one of the 80 years. And that was really great. So when I was in Africa, I kept journals where I wrote down everything that happened. And at one period of our lives there, I wasn't very busy, and I thought, maybe some of these could be published. And I tried to turn them into articles for publication, and I actually sold one story, which was very encouraging. I never sold another. But all these stories piled up, and my niece Anne decided 2 years ago that she wanted to put it into a book. And Anne rewrote. She kept many of the stories exactly as I wrote them, but she formed them into a book. It's mostly my love for the country and what happened in the early years, 1950 to 1960, and from then on. But it gives you a feeling of what Rwanda was like when I came, and more or less how it developed. It's a love story about my love for our country. And we have now about, of the children, 2/3 are Hutu because of the killings in 98, and 1/3 Tutsi. And they all love each other, and nobody mentions Tutsi Hutu in my presence. I don't think they do it when they're together. I don't think they know who's who. They just know who they love. And I hope and pray that will continue all their lives.
With your guidance.
You know, there's a popular yet badly mistaken belief in this country that the American dream is all about getting, that success is measured only in material wealth. As you're about to see, the American dream is also about giving, giving that knows neither limits nor borders.
Hello, little darling. Hello, sweetie. When those little kids come running to hug me and tell me their little problems and things, I just feel like a mother.
Rosamond Carr is living a dream come true, even though she may look completely out of place in the foothills of Rwanda.
Oh, what is your little nose running for?
But this American wouldn't want to be at home anywhere else.
At my age now, in the 80s, every year is let's say, a gift from God.
Rosamond grew up across the Atlantic Ocean in New Jersey. She was the daughter of a wealthy Wall Street banker and became a fashion designer by day and a socialite by night. But she abandoned that privileged life when she married a British explorer named Kenneth Carr.
That picture of me with this little antelope is sort of a nice picture.
And her adventure along Africa's Congo River began.
We kept passing these villages with brass roofed huts, and Kenneth said, "You're going to be happy in one of those." And I thought, oh gosh, it'll be terrible.
Life in Africa wasn't easy. Her marriage collapsed, the flower farm she was managing went bankrupt 4 times, and she barely survived the genocide in Rwanda in 1994.
They had clubs, and they just came and burst in through the door, began looking under the couch and in cupboards, and, well, what are you looking for? We're looking for Watusi.
Half of Rosamond's staff were Watusi. Her property became the scene of a bloodbath.
This was ethnic hatred.
Eventually, she was forced to flee the country. 1 year later, she returned to see what, or if anyone, was spared.
I came back with the idea that I could open an orphanage.
Children who were left homeless by the savage massacre. Children she now calls her own.
Oh, I love these children.
Rosamond Carr, at age 87, an American dream.
I'm grateful for every day I come here, and every day I spend with the kids.
Rosamond Carr is now caring for close to 100 children, and she has a dream for them too, a dream that they will one day live in an Africa at peace.
The American Dream, brought to you by Fidelity Investments. We help you invest responsibly.